guys. So it is technically the same day that I filmed my last video, but I really wanted to show you guys a tour of my comic book shelf because I realized for some weird reason that when I did my bookshelf tour, I didn't include it. I don't remember if at the time I mentally was kind of like, we'll do that separately because it's a whole thing. But yes, so I do have my manga in here in my office. However, I do keep all of my comic books out in my living room on my bookshelf out there. So I just wanted to give a little intro before we head out there. Hopefully the lighting is not too totally shit out there because my living room is a little dark sometimes and has a lot of like really warm lighting, just kind of a mood for me. So anyways, let's go out there. Hopefully that'll work. And I want to show you my comic books. I have quite a bit to show you, so you know, we'll make do. All right, let's go. All right, so hopefully this will work. I am literally sitting on the fucking floor because there's really no good way to film this. So I have this like IKEA shelf here that's, you know, the one that has a bunch of cubes. Perfect. This has been perfect, okay, for our comic books. So if you also keep them like this, oh shit, sorry. Why am I apologizing? If you also keep trades like we do, sorry, trying to get comfy, then this perhaps is a good way to do that. Because in my experience, like when we first started collecting, we were keeping a lot of these trades on a bookshelf. And these will really warp your bookshelves, especially if you have cheaper ones like IKEA bookshelves, that type of thing. These provide a little bit more support, I guess, because it's like a cube. I don't know, it's more square. These shelves are really, really sturdy, so these don't bend. This has been great. Anyways, it's probably easiest if I just turn you guys around because otherwise you're not going to be able to see. Okay, so first thing first, on the side here, as you can see here, this is where we kind of just house our issues that come in or any trade paperbacks that I buy, you know, at the comic book store and then don't get to right away or aren't part of like an ongoing series in our collection. They just kind of go here. Also, like random books like my 101 Dog Tricks end up here, and sometimes some manga. So this is just like shit that needs to be sorted. Yeah. So the way me and my husband do it, this is my pile. So as you can see, his pile's bigger, but that doesn't mean that, I mean, kind of does, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he is reading more or I am reading more. So the way we do things when they come in, he goes through them, sorts them out. First of all, let me just start over here, okay? Let me explain our system here. These bags are here because they haven't been sorted yet. So these are comics we've picked up from our subscription box or whatever at the comic book store. And then we just kind of let them pile up there for a month or so. And then they eventually get sorted. These piles are sorted by series. So what he does primarily, I don't do it because it's his job. I keep track of the list of what we're subscribed to and make sure we have all of them so that we're not missing any in the series. And I keep track of stuff that's coming out soon. And then he goes, when we buy them and pick them up, he sorts them. So they go in his pile first. That's why there's so many here, okay? They go in his pile first. He reads them, and then they go in my pile. And again, we do this by series, so, or like series arc. Sorry, if you hear me shuffling around, it's because I'm sitting on the floor, and my legs go numb very easily, so yay. Anyways, so he will read like an arc, and then put it in my pile. Now, I can read from his pile, and then just put it right back in, but I have to kind of keep track of it, because if he reads it then, and then puts it in my pile, then I don't remember if I read it. It's a whole thing. This is the best system we have been able to come up with. And if anybody does it differently, you know, let me know. Because with 2 comic book readers in the house, this is a little rough sometimes. And keeping track of the list is a little rough sometimes. And it's a lot, you know? Like, anyways, yeah. So if anybody has any methods for this shit, please let me know. I'm really am curious, because if I could take any advice from anybody who also deals with this, then that would be cool to make this a little easier for myself. For anyone curious about what I use in terms of like tracking upcoming releases, tracking the issues that we have to make sure we don't have any missing, that type of thing. I also keep track of collectibles and manga that are coming out on there, and I keep track of the numbers in like our actual collection here to make sure we're not missing any. And I also track which ones we would like to buy in these trade paperbacks that we are reading in issues. So if there's a series that we really like and we want to add it to our collection, it goes on that list. There's a thing on that list for it. For anybody curious about what I use for that, I use Google Sheets. It's easiest because I can add him to it and he can just view it if he wants to or needs to. So that's been all right. Yeah, that's a whole thing. It's exhausting. And I don't really know how to go through these, but we'll come back to these. Let's start with this, okay? So over here I have all of my Sandman comics. So I have 1 through 10. This is the entire original series. And I know this recently started becoming popular again because the Netflix, is it Netflix? Yeah, Netflix show is coming out, finally, yay. But they started releasing these in like, omnibus paperbacks. So they're like thick. They're like, I think it's like 3 maybe per omnibus. So yeah, I've had these a long time. These were like one of the very first series I got into. And then I have the Sandman Endless Nights, which is like a sequel, kind of. It's like a standalone sequel. And then I have the Sandman Overture, which was another sequel. Death. So honestly, if you're considering getting into Sandman, either read... Oh my gosh, sorry. If you can see that huge fluff of dog hair. It gets a little dusty over here. This is right by our front door, so yeah, it gets a little rough over here. Anyways, if you're considering getting into the Sandman series, I really recommend you either start with the original series and don't skip #1. Some people say you can, but don't. In my opinion, I feel like you need it. Or Death. Honestly, Death is a great intro to see if it's kind of for you. So, yeah. I would really like more in this kind of fashion. I would really enjoy if we got some comics that focus on the other endless, like this one does on Death. That would be really neat. And then I also have my older Ron Mars editions of Witchblade, which some of them have like binding issues and are falling apart. I bought these used at the used bookstore. I got really lucky with these because otherwise it would have been fucking expensive. But I do not believe I have all of them. Like I said, I have 1 through 8, but I don't think that's it. I am a pretty big fan of Witchblade. I know it's kind of cheesy, but I like it. I like the universe it takes place in, as you can tell here. Both me and my husband are fans of it. So this is kind of like the big rendition of Witchblade that came out, like the most, maybe popular, but like, this is like the core collection, okay, of Witchblade. So if you want to read it, I recommend you read these. I have not read all of them, actually. I've read, I think, like 1 through 4, maybe. It's been a while, so it's been a while. And then this is... so this is the one that Sejic illustrates, that I haven't read this one yet. Witchblade Redemption. And then we have the new Witchblade, which I think there's a second volume of this out, but I haven't gotten it yet. I really liked this. Honestly, I feel like if you're like curious about the universe and stuff, maybe don't start with these. Start with the newer one. This one's, I feel like this is kind of easily digestible. And then we have the Darkness Origins, which the Darkness is like 1/2 of the Witchblade. Kinda. So, yeah, the Darkness. We have Angelus. I think this is only number 1. Again, this is another Sejic comic. So, if you know anything about me, you know that's probably why I own it. And then Artifacts. So all of these tie in to Witchblade in some form or another. So like the Darkness and Angelus are kind of like, you know, you can tell, like, the antithesis to each other. Is that the word? Anyways. And then we have the first Dune graphic novel. There's another one of these coming out, but neither of us have gotten to this one yet. But we bought this right after we watched the movie, and I haven't read the actual book yet. I think I own the first one. But, yes, this is because my husband really liked the movie. And he was like, oh, wow, maybe I'll read that. And I said, well, you should read the book. I have it. And he said, well, I think I'd rather read the comic, which is kind of his go-to. So that's fine. You know, whatever. And then I just have an Agretsuko comic because I am a fan. I didn't like the 3rd season, I think was the most recent one. But aside from that. Okay, and then over here, I moved. While I was paused here, I moved some of the trades from over here to over here. So we'll just start on top. We've got the complete collection of Dark Souls. That is my husband's, but I will probably read it as well. And then we have Punderworld, which is I think a Persephone and Hades retelling, kind of, by Linda Sejic. So, yes, I'm excited to read that one soon. I've got Swing number 4, which is kind of a weird thing because I don't own number 1. I have 2, 3, and 4. I don't know what happened. I have Chew number 1. This is just a series I picked up because I had a little bit of money to spend at the time, and I've heard good things, and I wanted to read it, so. The complete collection of Venom by Daniel Way. Scream, Curse of Carnage, number 1. And then I have Death Vigil, number 1, which haven't read yet, but I am very excited to read it. I have Nomen Omen, number 1 through 3, which has been on my list to catch up on comics for a while. I just haven't gotten to it. I have East of West, volumes 1 and 2. However, we have finished this series. It is done. It's a great series by Hickman. It's like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse kind of thing. So Nick Dragata did the art, and he has a new thing out. I don't remember what it's called, but I really like his art style. So yeah, that's a really good series. If you're trying to get into comics, I really recommend you pick East of West. However, we don't own them in trade, and I don't think we're going to at this point buy any more. The series is done. We read the rest in issues, and if we do buy them, it'll be in hardbacks. So, and then we have my massive collection of Sunstone, which is my favorite comic series. If you didn't know, another gem by Sejic. So I have 1 through 5 of the original series, and then I have 6 and 7, which are technically part of the series, but it's like Sunstone. You can see it says Sunstone Mercy. So it's like a sequel, kind of. So yeah, these are smut. This is kind of where I have like all my Sejic, kinda. And then I have Fine Print number 1 here, which is a newer series by him. I really loved it. I'm excited to keep reading this. Swing 2 and 3. And then I have Low by Rick Remender, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's more out, but I don't know if I'm going to buy them because I'm going to be completely honest with you. I kind of fell out of love with the series at this point, so I don't know if I'm going to bother with that one. It's like, out of all the Rick Remender series, I would say Low is my least favorite. And I like Rick Remender, so. I have 7 to Eternity 1 and 2. I want to own the rest of these. I think a hardback just came out or is coming out soon. I would really like to have it, but I don't know if I can afford to buy it, so might just eventually get the trade paperbacks. And then I have Curse Words 1 through 5. I think I've read all these at this point. This is a really good series if you're just looking for something fucking funny and ridiculous, and like the art is really great. So yeah, that one I just like read super fast. And then we have Rumble 1 through 6. This is one of my husband's favorite series of all time. I really like James Harren. I think that's his name, James Harren, the artist for the first 3 volumes. Yeah, the artist for the first 3 volumes. His art's really cool. But the story is also really neat. So, I don't know how to describe it to you, but I'll maybe insert some of the artwork here. It is definitely pretty cool series. Kind of underrated, if you ask me. And then we have a bunch of BPRD here. So we've got 1 through 6. I bought these used from the used bookstore for my husband. He likes Hellboy. This has been a thing the entirety of the time that I've known him. So that is the trades there. Down here is just like a bunch of fish things, and I don't have a fish anymore, so we're probably going to get rid of this because, as you can see up here, we need the space. So that will happen. Over here, we have our router for our Wi-Fi, because it just makes sense. I have Primer, which is technically a superhero. Tokyo Ghost, which is another Remender comic. This is the complete collection in hardback. And then we've got Saga 1, 2, and 3. It bothers me that they go this way and not left to right. I don't know why I put them like that, but I did. Yes, yeah, so we have, I think this is called like the Ultimate Edition or something of Deadly Class. So it's huge. Like it's a brick. I want to own all of these because these retail for $50. Although I hear Amazon is a good place to get them. And the Deadly Class ones are really hard to find. Even on Amazon, they're not readily printed anymore. And occasionally, like, Image will come out with, like, a round of them. But it can be kind of difficult to get these in hardback. You have to kind of get them right when they come out, or you might never be able to find them again. So just something to be aware of. I think there's like 3 other ones of Deadly Class out now, and they all look really great, just like the Saga ones do, all aligned. But I don't know if I'm going to get them, aside from being able to find them. I don't know. So I might have to get the rest in trades. It's just the way it is. Same with Black Science. So Black Science is my favorite modern day, like current Image comic of all time. Aside from, like, you know, Sejic and his stuff. But out of all of Remender's stuff, Black Science is my favorite. I really fucking love this series. I have 1 and 2, as you can see, of the, what are these? The Ultimate Editions. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the rest of them because, again, I don't know if they even make them anymore. So that's kind of a bummer, but whatever. Moving on to this shelf. Flip up my little screen here. So on this shelf, as you can see, I've got Thor, the complete collection by Jason Aaron. And this is volume 5, and when I bought it, I didn't realize it was volume 5. I don't have any of the other ones, but I really want to read this version of Thor, so, you know, I'm going to get the rest of them, I guess. Then we have Dark One by Brandon Sanderson. I just recently read it. We have a bunch of, like, not huge series. Some of them are series down here, but, like, not all of them are massive series. And this is just kind of, like, where we put things where we don't know where else to put stuff. So, yeah, I've got The Wilds, Sparrowhawk, Heathen, volumes 1 and 2, which is a pretty good series. Soulfire, which I read purely because the art is fucking cool and colorful and like rainbow art, so, you know, whatever. We have The Wake, which my husband will say is one of the best comics that he has ever read. So, yeah, it's a very short series. I think it's pretty good too. So he's not lying. I don't know about one of the best, but he will tell you it's one of the best he's ever read. These are Bloodborne Comics. So let me see if I can get a little closer. These are Bloodborne Comics. Obviously, Dustin is a Dark Souls, Bloodborne fan. I have the Sun Bakery comic, the Infinite Dark, Oblivion Song 1 and 2, Unearth, number 1, Collapser. This just looks like it's an individual comic. Reaver, number 1, which I really liked. Death or Glory, 1 and 2, which there's like, I think 4 maybe now. I haven't even started this. It's a Remender comic. I haven't read it. I know, I'm ashamed. Whatever. Miles Morales, Ultimate Spider-Man, 1 and 2, which I bought used. The Umbrella Academy, 1 through 3, bought them used. We have this... Oh, Jesus Christ. Being on the floor sucks. We have this art book of Miyazaki stuff, which is really cool. It's like a bunch of... It's not really... This says, art inspired by the film of Miyazaki. Yeah, so it's like artists' fan art. That's the word. So then we have Artifacts Origins Firstborn. I have Artifacts 5 and 6. I have Harleen 1, 2, and 3. I really hope we come out with more of this. I think this is another, yeah, this is another thing by Sejic. I don't think we're going to get any more of this, unfortunately, but I really liked them. These are technically issues, but as you can see, they're oversized, and I kept them because I think they're really awesome. We have Critical Role Vox Machina Origins 1 and 2, and these Jim Henson Dark Crystal 1 and 2. I don't remember if there's any more of those. These are like hardbacks. There's a bunch of Jim Henson comic books of like all the different Jim Henson stories. So like Dark Crystal, I think the Labyrinth has one now. There's one more, but I can't remember. It's one of the other popular ones. But yeah, Jim Henson's getting like a big comic reboot lately. So that's something you're into. Definitely check that out. Yeah, so if you can't tell, I'm exhausted. So I have a couple more things I wanted to show you guys. I was going to go through all of the issues and show you what we're currently reading. However, it is just way too much of an undertaking. So I'm not going to do that. But if you want to see that video, why don't you let me know in the comments? I might do it, but it'll take a bit of help, I think. And I cannot do it on a day like today where I'm exhausted and I worked this morning and I cannot form coherent sentences anymore. So, I did want to show you one thing though. So this is what I wanted to show y'all. So in case you're ever curious, I mean, aside from like online, you know, like Google searches and stuff, this is how I personally and many other people find out about upcoming comics and collectibles releases. So these are the previews. This is a big fucking catalog that you can get at your comic book store, and you can also get it online. I think it's like a couple bucks. It doesn't really cost a lot in print either. It is $4 in print. I prefer personally to get the in print. Just because it's like, it feels like you're looking through like a catalog for Scholastic. So it's kind of like that fun fucking catalog vibe. But it'll have like previews, as the name implies, of comic books coming out soon. It has a fuck ton of advertisements, which honestly, that's a major complaint, but it is how they advertise primarily. So it is just kind of, you got to deal with it, right? But yeah, as you can see, it has previews of upcoming anticipated releases. Yeah, see, so if you go to that, so you can either buy it online for like a couple bucks and read it digitally, or you can buy the in-print one and you get the digital one automatically. So, yeah, and you can use this to actually like order. There's a form in here that I usually tear out and use as like a list because we don't direct order. We go and we look at them before we order them, that type of thing. But at least this helps me track release dates and stuff. So as you can see, each one of them is going to have like information. It'll have a synopsis. Yeah. Not only does it have comic books, if you flip it the other way, there's another cover. So as you can see, another cover. And this side, see, I'll show you. See how that's upside down? You can go, keep going, here, see, like that way. Collectibles, figures, all kinds of shit. Figures, yeah. So, and this will have the same thing. It'll have release dates. It'll have how much, at least if you order it direct, how much it's going to cost you. Pretty cool. This also has manga. It's in the very back of the comic book section. So, yeah. I just wanted to show you guys that I get them every month, just like clockwork. And I go through them. And sometimes I get really backed up, as in like, right now I have like 6 months of them that I need to just go through. See, this is what I do personally. I just write. I write like that. If I'm interested in something that I see in there, I'll write the release date. I'll write if it's like who it's published by, blah, blah, blah. You also get Marvel and DC in these for free. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I'm exhausted. I'm going to go take a nap. Let me know what kind of manga and comic book content you want to see going forward. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.